Chairman Jim Walsh here for our regular weekly Chairman's Update. I'm at the Capitol in Olympia today, and I want to talk today about our initiative to require voter ID when people register to vote in Washington. Our initiative fell short on the number of signatures necessary to qualify it to go on as an initiative to the legislature behind me here. We need about 310,000 signatures at least to qualify an initiative currently. We were stuck under 200,000 signatures, so we got a good part of the way there with our efforts to gather signatures and support, but we weren't able to get close enough, even really close enough to submit signatures. So we've processed all the signatures we've had. We're going to keep them archived. But we're not going to be able to qualify the voter ID initiative today. Today is the deadline for submitting signatures in support of an initiative. The good news is the other two initiatives that were out getting signatures, both of which the party supports, the initiative to protect girls' sports in Washington and the initiative to restore the Parents' Bill of Rights, are going to go forward. They got enough signatures to qualify. They will go to the legislature in the upcoming legislative session. An essential thing. It's an essential project for us. We are going to refile the initiative to require voter ID when people register to vote. It will not go to the legislature for review first. We will refile this as soon as the window opens to file initiatives to the people. That's next week. We will file the same initiative. We may modify the language a little bit to clear up some confusion some people felt about the initiative, but it will be substantively the same initiative. And we will start over again, collecting signatures to support the initiative to require voter ID when people register to vote, to go directly to the people for a vote in November of 2026, November of this year. When the window of opportunity, the time window opens for qualifying that initiative, we will submit it to the state as we've done the other initiatives, and then we will have until the end of June to collect the qualifying signatures. The qualifying signature threshold is the same. It's about 310,000 signatures. And we'll basically start over again with a new take on this voter ID initiative. So that begins next week. It goes through approximately the end of June. The Secretary of State's office has not yet established the precise deadline for those signatures to be submitted, but it will be around the end of June, perhaps the first day or two of July. And when that gets going, when the Secretary of State opens the window for the initiative to the people, we will be right there, ready to go. The state party is also changing a few things about how we organize our initiative efforts. We had a very decentralized approach with the first pass of the voter ID initiative. We were counting on the local county parties to kind of do their own thing with signature gathering. We are going to take a little more of a centralized role organizationally on this new effort. We are going to reactivate the state party's political operations committee to be basically our organizational mechanism for supporting initiatives. And I'll ask our political director, who's usually been the person spearheading the efforts of the Political Operations Committee, to take charge of the kind of reconstituted political operations / initiatives committee and get people really specifically organizationally involved. So there will be individually identified points of contact, people in charge in different parts of the state of Washington of this specific project. And I think we will be able to build on the number of people who signed the earlier version of the voter ID initiative. We'll get them involved early. and we will start from a base of more than half the signatures we need and build from that to get the 310,000 or more that we're looking for by the middle of the summer, by the end of June, early July. That's how we're going to proceed with pushing this essential policy point of requiring some form of voter ID here in Washington State when people register to vote. As I've mentioned before, our efforts to put this into policy and law in Washington State are very much in line with the efforts at the federal level that the President and the White House administration are trying to get through D.C. to require a consistent level of voter ID around the United States. What our efforts here are doing are trying to synchronize and align our state policy with the changes and reforms at the federal level. This is essential because we don't want to have a situation where at the federal level good reforms take place, and then here in Washington, in Washington State, we have a governor or a state attorney general who says, well, that's federal law, state law means no voter ID. We want to change that. We want state law to be aligned with federal law and require due diligence, checking, identification, proving citizenship of people who register to vote, because that is the law. That's the law both here in Washington, that's the law in Washington, D.C., at the federal level, at the state level, and right now our policies in the state are not enforcing existing law, and that is a major problem. So our new version of the initiative will continue the good effect of encouraging and really empowering the state of Washington to enforce good election integrity law. And some of you I know have said to me that this doesn't go far enough. You want to see more changes in state election law. But I really encourage you to think of this in terms of incremental improvement. The way we got in trouble with how we do elections here in Washington was incremental steps. The way we solve the problem of election integrity and people trusting our elections is in incremental steps. And requiring voter ID is the first and essential incremental step to improving election integrity. This is an important project, not just for Washington State Republicans, but for all voters in Washington State. We're not going to give up. We are going to stay dogged and determined to do what's right and fix what's broken here in the state of Washington. That's it for this week. I'll talk to you again soon, but Happy New Year. 2026 is going to be quite a year. And through 2026, I encourage you to be well and stay strong.